Check out the latest highlights from the Nourishing You podcast.
This episode of the Nourishing You podcast is brought to you by NANP Gold sponsor, Beam Minerals.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Nourishing You podcast and a great conversation with Autumn Smith. Why do you think so many Americans are afraid of meat, and why is this potentially a problem?
Oh, such a good question. And there's so many fascinating historical elements to the story. 86% of our fats are from vegetable oils. And Crisco in its original form was 50% trans fat, which we know led to hundreds of thousands of deaths due to heart disease. So there's that. There was a fictional novel called The Jungle, which was written about the meatpacking industry and the conditions that really annihilated meat sales for many years. We had sugar industry executives. There's papers come out recently found that they kind of nudged and paid for some research that would demonize saturated fat to take the blame off of sugar and its link with heart disease. We also have environmental activists. We have processed food companies who can create plant-based foods and meat alternatives because that is a huge market. And so we have all of these narratives. We have this misinformed environmental narrative, right? That all animal agriculture is destructive. And so all of these influences kind of converge to create what appears to be this mainstream narrative that meat is really dangerous and animal fats are something to be avoided, where it's actually couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, we've been eating meat since, for millions of years. Certain archaeologists believe it was the reason that we've developed such large brains. It has high levels of bioavailable nutrients. If you look at Dr. Ty Beal's work, he actually created this paper called Priority Micronutrient Density. And he found that when you take into consideration the nutrients most of us are deficient in, it's animal products. 9 of the 10 top foods are animal products. Only leafy greens made the other one. Then we have really high quality sources of complete protein. So protein can turn off appetite. Protein can improve our body composition. Protein creates our structural bodies and our signaling molecules. And so because 2 out of 3 of us are overweight or obese, and when we eat carbohydrate or fat-rich snacks, we don't satiate, we don't become as satiated. We could use higher quality protein as the metabolic tool that it could be, and we could correct micronutrient deficiency, which is actually far more prevalent in even developed countries than we think. Ty Beal's research showed 1 out of 3 women of reproductive age has at least one micronutrient deficiency, and they were only looking at about 6 nutrients. So imagine if you were looking at every nutrient. And so the danger here is these animal products were critical to our evolution. They contain highly bioavailable nutrients, some that we can't get anywhere else: vitamin B12, heme iron, carnitine, DHA, many nutrients that we really require from animal products. And high quality protein is satiating and improves metabolic outcomes. And so this narrative is destructive in many ways. And I sincerely believe it's one of the main reasons that so many people are confused about how to actually be healthy today.
If you enjoyed this short episode, check out our full library on our NANP YouTube channel, where you can catch up or learn more. Keep in mind that the information on the NANP podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical or legal advice. The NANP is not liable or responsible for any harm, damage, or illness arising from the use of the information contained herein. By listening to the information on this podcast, you agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless the NANP and all agents. Copyright NANP, all rights reserved.